Is up, everybody, and welcome back to another Madden 24 online game. How the mighty have fallen. The Philadelphia Eagles went from surefire Super Bowl contenders 2 months ago to a team that didn't even look like they belonged in the playoffs and looked like a team that definitely didn't belong against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight. Tampa Bay, from the opening get-go, really punched them in the mouth. They should have had a touchdown in their opening drive. Kate Otten wasn't able to catch a touchdown, but that really set the tempo. And, you know, Tampa Bay getting a lot of big plays off of missed tackles by Philadelphia. The Eagles' offense with no rhythm, which has been a story all season long, really just ever since they lost Shane Steichen in the offseason. And, you know, you can say since they lost Jonathan Gannon, that defense hasn't looked the same either schematically, and that continues once again tonight. The game is still going on. There's still 4.5 minutes left, but Chris Godwin just caught a touchdown to make it a 3-possession game. I'm calling game on that one, as you see Levante David with the interception. I'm using the Bucs, my opponent using the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll try to recreate real life in Madden today, but, man, this Philadelphia Eagles team, there was a lot to talk about from the roster. I mean, defensively, like, this roster, there are some holes on it, right? You got Shaq Leonard getting minutes. You don't want that. Zach Cunningham is up there in age. I don't know how much you want him to be an inside stand-up backer, stuff like that. The pass rush, the interior D-line with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter not making as much noise as you would expect. All around that defense. The secondary with James Bradbury, Kevin Byard. A lot of aging guys that, you know, are more named in game at this point. But, I mean, the tackling, the missed tackles for Philadelphia, that's one of the two biggest things that stood out to me. The other thing is offensively, the Eagles just had no real plan in place for the blitz-heavy scheme of Tampa Bay. And you're going against a Todd Bowles defense. You know Todd Bowles loves to blitz. Now, the thing is, you don't know where he's going to blitz. It's going to be a man blitz or a zone blitz, and that's what makes Todd Bowles one of the best in the games as far as, you know, being a defensive coordinator in general, right? And obviously Todd Bowles is the head coach, but you know he's the brains behind this defense, and I mean, it's been happening for years. It's a big reason why they won the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, and it's a big reason why they won again tonight. The Eagles just had no answer for it, but, I mean, like, I don't pretend to be a true X's and O's master of football, but, I mean, look, like, you watched the Manning cast, and they were losing their mind about how much empty Philadelphia was running against, you know, blitz looks that were not even disguised. It's like, yeah, we're blitzing here. We're sending at least 6 at you. You better have a quick plan. And Philly just never really had that quick plan all game long. And, you know, there's just a lot to look at in the offseason for Philadelphia offensively. I mean, it was a pretty simple offense last season as well, but, I mean, they just had more rhythm to it where it's like, yeah, they were just, you know, running the ball, a lot of inside zone and stuff like that, read options, RPOs and all that. But, I mean, you see with Shane Steichen how creative that offense can be when he took it to Indianapolis, and you don't really see that creativity in Philadelphia. It's kind of like you know what's coming based on the look, based on the down and stuff like that. Obviously, not having A.J. Brown tonight really affected that offense, especially against a team that's going to blitz as much. A.J. Brown would be tremendous in a game like that because not only is he your go-to guy as a hot read, he's really good at getting yards after the catch, which, you know, against a blitz like that, you just need break off one of those, and you can get a lot of yardage. And Philly definitely missed that. Devontae Smith was really good tonight. Shout out to him, but obviously Philly didn't really have a comfortable number 2 guy. Julio Jones was out there, and even he got put into the concussion protocol at some point in the game. And, I mean, Dallas Goedert played a solid game, but, I mean, I didn't even think it's like, yeah, Jalen Hurts was really struggling and stuff like that. He didn't have a great game by any means, but, I mean, that team was just not really put in a position to succeed more than anything else. And it's part of what proves how much coaching matters at this level of football. Once you get to the playoffs, you see the great coaches shine. Like Matt LaFleur, I thought really shined. You know, in the Detroit game, Ben Johnson really shined as an offensive play caller, everything he was drawing up. Now, also the Rams, like the Philadelphia Eagles, they really struggled tackling. But, I mean, I thought the Rams really struggled tackling. They had poor Michael Hoyt out there in coverage multiple times in the game, trying for dear life out there. But, I mean, the Rams look like a great tackling team when you check out what Philadelphia did. I mean, both the touchdowns they scored were just like, man, like, how do you let it break all the way for the touchdown, especially the Trey Palmer one? I like watching the Manning cast, and they had Ray Lewis on there. And as soon as that play broke off, you can see Ray was about to blow a gasket. He was just like, oh, yeah, tackling is easy. You got to put him in a cup. You got to put him in a cup. And, Philadelphia, clearly, they don't have those concepts down there. And it's crazy because they have a lot of veterans, but, a lot of vets also means maybe not a lot of speed to be able to rally to the football like that. Not a lot of energy once you get to the nitty-gritty of the ball game. I don't know exactly what it is, but the Eagles, there's something really wrong, and it could potentially cost Nick Sirianni his job, which doesn't really seem too out of the realm because, like we said, the Eagles lost both of their coordinators, Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen, and it's like, okay, we have to clean house. You have to figure out if Nick Sirianni is truly the leader of this team, if the guys truly believe in the message that Sirianni is sending. And if you do believe that, then you bring him back for another season because Sirianni seemed like, he was really able to rally that team and, kind of be the ring bearer of, an Eagles team that embraced being different last year, whether it's the tush push or whatever it may be. But maybe his act is worn out. I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, there's a lot of really good head coaching candidates out there, so we'll see what the Eagles decide to do. I'm not really ever an advocate for firing a coach and having somebody lose their job, but these front offices make these kind of decisions, so we'll see what they come down with. Shout out to my opponent, by the way. He decides to run the Philly special here, and it's gonna work. Jalen Hurts is wide open, and we give it up for a touchdown and lose the lead. So yeah, shout out to Tampa Bay though. Obviously, the Eagles losing is the bigger story because this was a team that made the Super Bowl last year. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they were just able to win their division. We talked about it in last week about how, they were potentially a touchback from DJ Chark that could have been a touchdown away from missing the playoffs. So they lost that game. Shout out Antoine Winfield for being able to make that play. But, they made it. And now they're here. And now you have this edgy Todd Bowles defense. You still have really good players on that Tampa Bay team left over from the Super Bowl squad, like Devin White, Levante David, Vita Vea, Winfield back there, that can give teams headaches. And now this Tampa Bay team is going to go on the road against the Detroit Lions. I think the Lions will definitely be favored in that game, with Jared Goff, with all those guys, especially the Lions that are able to, get quick passes off, scheme up Amon-Ra St. Brown, put him in motion a lot. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, they just have a lot of elusive players on that team. They should be able to, get quick catches and make something shake after the catch. We'll see. I have faith in them to be able to do that, but we'll see. It should be a fun game. Two teams where, you'll have one unexpected team making it to the NFC Championship game because everybody thought it would come down to perhaps the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the 49ers. And, that Rams-Lions game was definitely a good one. At the end of the day, I thought that game came down to the fact that the Rams ended up settling for field goals in the red zone. The Lions scored touchdowns. Sean McVay's play calling in the red zone got a little bit questionable, especially the first series where it was just like 3 straight passes, and it seemed like they were really locked on trying to find different ways to get Cooper Kupp the ball as opposed to just like, maybe we get Kyron Williams some touches. He's been really good at, running the ball inside all season long, but I don't know what it is there, but... And then obviously the fourth down late, they had the third down and field goal range. They got the holding penalty from Havenstein, brought them back. Shout out to the Lions for making the call to bring them out of field goal range. You get the incompletion to Puka that probably should have been a penalty, but whatever. Then fourth down, you end up punting the ball when you probably could have and should have went for it there with your season on the line. McVay said after the game he regretted it. But, look, it was a really good game nonetheless. It was a close game at the end. The Lions were able to win it. And, what a moment for the Detroit Lions. You just couldn't help but feel happy for Lions fans, everybody in that organization for, their first playoff game hosted ever at Ford Field, first playoff win in 30-plus years. So shout out to them, and they might be making to the championship game. They have to be the favorites next week against this Bucs squad. And then obviously earlier today we had that Buffalo and Pittsburgh game, and it just felt like a game where, maybe Pittsburgh could have taken it. There were elements in that game where you had a chance to steal the game, but you need some of those big plays to go your way, and none of those big plays exactly, they needed 1 or 2 more game-swinging plays. They got a couple, but you just need a couple more, especially when you're the underdog on the road in the playoffs, and Pittsburgh just wasn't able to materialize that, whether it was, a bad call or two, or especially the fact that you don't have TJ Watt. And who is better at making game-changing plays on the defensive end than TJ Watt? And you don't have him. They surely could have used him at some point in that game. But now we get Buffalo versus Kansas City. obviously going to be a really exciting game. Divisional rounds should be pretty lit. It'll start off with the Baltimore Ravens hosting the C.J. Stroud-led Texans, and we'll see what happens there. So, nearing the end of this video, I put on shoe clock at the end. I made this game 6-minute quarters instead of 5 minutes. I was like, let's just put on shoe clock. Let's not make this too long. And it actually ended up being a pretty short video, game and video once I finished editing this thing. So, yeah, we ended up running the ball a couple of times and get out of here. So, shout out to my opponents, GG's to them. As always, playing subscribers from our Discord. If you want to play one of these games, hop into Discord, and, I'll mention when I'm ready to play these games. And in general, join our Discord, man. We're having a good time in there. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed what you guys saw today. Subscribe for more Madden 24 online games and all that good stuff. And I will catch you guys next time. Thank you, as always, for watching.